Says we're live. Here we go. Here we go. I have Cheryl waiting. Look at how bright that is. Oh, as I trip over the mat. Okay. I'm just literally staying here with fingers crossed. I cleared caches and cookies and changed our browser and did a hard reset on the modem. And there's a red light on it right now. Okay. We'll see. We're so at the mercy of this. I have Trish and Cheryl. What is cleared a lot of cache? Yeah, okay. There's 3 people now. I'm hoping that this is working. I'm looking at our modem right now, and the first button is a really angry red. I'm not sure why. And Cheryl and Trish are not, they're not texting me. Oh my God. Okay, she's there. It looks fine. Okay, so let's just take a breath for a second. It's 4:15. Who's this? Mel. Hey, Mel. I know it's weird. It's 4:15 and we're live. Yesterday we had a bit of an issue. Better not have a bit of an issue with this, Mike. We had a bit of an issue with the feed, and it was choppy. And then so we went on today, and it was still garbage. So I'm like, there's no way we're running this. So I took the day along with some other stuff and kind of looked through some stuff. Thank you, Kelly Boss, for encouraging me just to, go out there and see if you can figure it out, Kate Durst. Looks like we figured it out, but it's something to note, I guess, on these lives, that it's just not always given that the video is going to be launching, because there's some things that we might want to mitigate along there. So just keeping that in the back of our head. So maybe it's sometimes we want to pre-record stuff, or like today, we're not missing a workout, especially if it's chest and biceps. So I literally did not touch anything because I was like, there's no way in hell that I'm skipping a workout. That's just not what I do. I show up, my friends. I was like, even if I have to put it on my phone, we are doing our workout. And the good thing is, Cheryl's saying it's good, Mama. Trish was on there. I don't know if she got my text or not, but I had people. Chantel, hey, it might be funny actually, because if we did them a little bit later in the day, we might have different people joining us, right? So anyways, we're not talking about that. We'll be back tomorrow at 10:15. Cheryl will be back as well, back on track. On the weekend, I'm going to re-record yesterday's because it was an excellent workout and the footage was garbage. So yeah, I want this whole series to be nice and clean, because we're just going to leave it here as we move into the next series. So Cheryl and I are going to redo our shoulders component, so that one's clean. But today, hey, 4:15, we're online. We're going to do some chest and we're going to do some biceps. So I have some new combos here today. So I positioned my mat just so you can kind of get the angle of where the hand position is, but also that you can see where the hands are terminating on top as well. Cheryl's at work today. She'll be doing this one a little bit later because they're out and about in the truck right now, doing some public service stuff. So awesome, right? We love what they do for us. I'm going to click onto the seconds timer. So far, so good. So we've been changing around some stuff, right? And giving a little bit more time to scrolling, showing what the band exercises are beforehand, but then actually just getting into it with the triceps. So what we've been doing is just setting you up for your band work, so you understand kind of where your body position is, and then you guys can just go at it. So I'm going to do the same thing right now because it's 4:12. I have a story about coffee as well. Not actually about coffee, but the grinds. I had a thing happen this morning. I sent Cheryl to work, because she has to be at work at 6 in the morning. So whatever. And then I was left with this conundrum, and I'll tell you about it because this is something I've never experienced before. And because I stopped myself, I wanted to go further, but I stopped myself just because, well, I'll tell you a little bit about it later. But it was kind of the most interesting thing. And I kind of want to take it a little bit further one day just to kind of see what happens. But anyways, we'll stop there. I have the band here. I've actually tightened up the band just a smidgy more because I'm feeling like I'm getting a bit stronger in my pectorals. So I'm going to set you guys up on the band. I hope that I have all of these gadgets tucked behind so they're not clacking on my microphone. We're starting off with 2 moves. The first one's going to be a parallel press. Okay, so the band would be underneath your back. This is the one where your hands are equal distance apart. We're not elevating on this today. You're just going to focus on keeping your shoulders down, right? And your chest open and getting that nice contraction in your pec at the top. When we're done the parallel press, I want you to flip over. If you want, you can stand up and go to the wall, stand up and go onto an incline. I would like you to try to stay on the mat if you could, even if you have your tushy up a little bit, or you want to sink your hips down or go onto your toes. Then your hands should be into a parallel position. And I want you to try some parallel push-ups. So it's the same move, okay? It's just you're using body weight. So your elbows are going to tuck back, and then you're going to press up and through. So that's the first circuit with 2 exercises. So that's what we're going to get started at. I know the parallel push-ups are a little bit, but remember, bending your elbows just a smidge, it's a start, right? And if you want to keep your booty up into like crawling baby, that's okay if that helps you, because it's going to take some of the weight off of your arms and upper body. Okay, so I just want you to mitigate as best you can. Again, if you have problems with your wrists, you can stack some dumbbells underneath, keeping your wrist plane flat, or just you can go on to knuckle position. New combo for us. We haven't done this one before. So parallel press with parallel push-ups to start out with. I'm going to start the timer. 'Tis the season to start lifting. There was no way. Oh, this is going to cause an issue. There was no way that I was missing chest. Oh my God. No. I'm going to start with some dumbbells just to warm up with some 15s, right? So the parallel press, my elbows are right to the floor. I'm going to come on up and then sink it down. So a few things that I wanted to talk about. It's so different working out now. I've had more meals, so I really feel a lot stronger, right? Usually when we work out in the morning, I've only had my oatmeal and some coffee. So like right now, it feels different, but like I can tell my body's much more awake and it's much better fueled because I even had my supper already. It's so interesting, and it's so important, right? To be eating so you have the stamina to do the workouts, and then eating after. I will have my shake. Even though I just had supper, I will have my shake to make sure that we're taking care of the muscles after they are done working. Right. I can still feel my triceps, not going to lie. So I'm going to flip over. Don't feel rushed. There's lots of time. And these push-ups with your hands underneath kind of your shoulders and chest, they're tough. They work a lot more triceps. I'm going to tuck my tailbone. I'm going to lower down and then press up and through. Yes. So Vic, I know you commented on my hair. Thank you very much. We went to see Sarah yesterday. Cheryl's hair looks so good. It's nice and dark and it's glossy and it looks super healthy. And then we started to layer back some blonde back into my hair. So I know I love being blonde. It makes me happy. I should have been born blonde, but I have to pay for it. So that's okay. As the hair gets grayer, it becomes easier and easier to be blonde. I want you to keep your elbows tucked to your side, and whatever range of motion is working for you. I'm going to keep gazing down today because I did not wear my toque. Inhale to exhale. And that's usually where I put my mic to keep it away from my body. Okay, definitely feeling the underbelly of those triceps today. You got her. The wrists are a little bit tender too. Nothing to write home about, but just little things to be aware of. So again, the mic is clear. I hit the puff. I'm going to try some 20s on these parallel press. I'm going to bring these over here, rolling it down. Again, we're not stressing out if we're missing a couple seconds just by grabbing our weights or changing our bands. I'm going to ask you to push your heels into the ground, Shants, right? Inhale to exhale, full extension up. So I'm super happy that the video quality is there. I'm super happy that we didn't miss a day. I'm so sorry that yesterday was garbage. The workout was great. The audio was fine. And the video was not, right? So we'll redo that. We want to make sure that we can bring the best quality that we can to this platform. Inhale to exhale. It was kind of interesting yesterday. Okay, push your shoulders down, expand your chest up and through, and roll it over. So that felt okay. I'm going to try 25s on the third round, but let's get into some push-ups first. So again, the hands are underneath the armpits, chest. If you can, tuck your tailbone. We're going to inhale. As you exhale, come on down and press it up. Oh Lord, it's the triceps, guys, on this one. Yeah, so we were talking to our hairstylist, and she is on an app actually, and she was talking about it because she was curious about our platform, and she was explaining her app, and I was like, "Oh my god, that I love that. Whoever that person is, I love her because she's doing kind of the same thing. She's doing like 30 minutes of exercise, la di da, and then the hairdresser asked, she's like, "So, like, how much is it to subscribe?" And we're like, "No, it's free." And she's like, "Oh." You know, because there's a lot of paid apps out there doing the same thing that we're doing, right? Where they're releasing these programs up and through. So she was kind of like, "Oh, okay." But she was telling us about the girl on the app, and she sounds really lovely too. I mean, there's lots of people out there doing good stuff, and I love that you support different people. And I told her in the end, as long as you're doing something that works for you, you're doing something great, right? Let's roll it down, bend the knees, feet onto the floor. So again, push your rear shoulders into the ground, push the dumbbells or the band handles up, and really make sure that the rear shoulder muscle stays in towards the floor. So your cue on this is drop your elbows down into the hip region, not into the belly button region, unless you've got a real low one, right? Mine kind of sits in the middle. It's kind of weird, but I love it. It's my belly button. So we're going to inhale, and as we exhale, you're going to contract. I think these 25s might be my max, only because of the triceps that we have done earlier in the week. They are so sore. Week 3 is killing me, and I love it. So I'm focusing on making sure I'm moving my left and my right equally. And again, trying to keep those dumbbells stable. I'm going to keep those 25s right up here, flipping it back around. Hope you guys are doing okay with the transitions of back and forth, Mitch. I know, a little bit more mobility. That's okay, though. Take your time. Okay, I'm going to move these guys out a bit. Again, tucking my tailbone and sinking to the floor and then pushing up and through. So I'm just able to sneak through these dumbbells. So Cheryl and I go to a coffee shop called Keepers. I hope it's okay. Really good. Anyways, it's in Pakenham. And she carries this crazy espresso coffee bean grind stuff. And we were like completely addicted to it. We have our Cuban press and we like press, anyways, we have whatever. So it's an addiction. We ran out and we didn't get to the store yesterday before it closed. So Cheryl went and bought a different type of coffee, which is fine. It's fine. Make sure that the elbows are falling back to your ribs and then press up and through. You got her. One more round. So the only problem is the grinder at the place that she bought the coffee, it didn't grind the beans down enough, right? So with these Cuban presses, those are like those aluminum presses, right? Not French presses. Bend the knees, elbows to side, full extension up. And then like you have like this little metal thing that goes in, and that's where the coffee goes. And then you screw on the top portion. You know, there's a little relief valve on the bottom. Pretty archaic, makes the best coffee up and through. So I used the beans this morning. It was like 4:30 in the morning. And I looked at the beans and I'm like, ooh, I don't know about this. Like they're big. Like if the beans aren't broken down, it's not going to pull the flavor out of that bean. Like it's got to get ground. But it was like 4:30 and I'm like, I'm not grinding beans right now to make them smaller. Like we'll deal with it, right? Hashtag, these are our problems. Flip it over. Last round of push-ups. We're moving into the big exercise after this, which is the chest press. Okay, so again, mitigating your wrists. If you want to go onto your knuckles, just make sure that your shoulder blades are expanded. I don't mind doing some of these too, kind of help out the wrist a bit. Honestly, the upper body's a little bit sheared right now. Inhale to exhale to up and through. I want you to make sure that your shoulders are staying down away from your ears and that the elbows again go backwards and down, and that you're trying to keep them as close as you can. If you have to go wider just because it's kind of tough maybe on your shoulder, you can go a little bit wider. I had just designed this, so we're kind of doing the same position with just 2 different exercises, right? The body weight exercise, the push-up, and then the resistance exercise, which is the parallel press with the handles of the resistance bands. Oh my God, here we go. Or the dumbbells. You're going to inhale as you come down on these, exhale or hold your breath as you push up. And then we transition into the big chest press. So these are the ones, trust me guys, you're warmed up now, where you can probably take a lot more load right off the bat. The band will go behind you. You'll lay down. You'll press from the center, but then your palms will face forward, elbows out, and then you can just face your palms front forward and get a contraction there. Right on. Do I have a necklace escape? I'm going to grab some 30-pound dumbbells. My shoulders are warmed up. That's the area that I'm always a little bit more nervous on, right? So the shoulders are warmed up. So I'm going to just jump right into a bit of a heavier weight here. We're going to inhale and exhale. So we had a little bit of that good stuff coffee left. So I saved that so Cheryl could have that at work today. So I perked her a mug, sent her on her way and said, I've got some work to do here. So I emptied out the bag of ground coffee, which was not ground enough, into the Vitamix. So these Vitamixes, yeah, these Vitamixes are things on their own, aren't they? When you guys are done, make sure to put your palms together, drop your dumbbells or your resistance band handles down onto your chest. So I think Cheryl said when she ground beans before, it was like 2 minutes in the Vitamax. That's kind of all I retained from that conversation. Roll it down, press from your chest, palms face forward, elbows to the ground if you can, because we're doing a floor press. Keep the dumbbells over your chest. Get it away from your chin, get it away from your teeth, right? We're going to inhale as those dumbbells come down. Again, I'm using a heavier dumbbell set. I'm not going to make it up to 35s today. I can feel my shoulders from yesterday, right? The lift feels safe. I'm keeping my shoulder blades into the ground. I'm pushing through my heels. And right before I lift from the ground, I'm holding my breath just to build up that inhale to exhale, internal pressure, rough, to get that up and down. You got her. Almost there. Sometimes these 45 seconds feel long, man. Palms face forward. So the thing with the Vitamix, they have settings. They have options where there's high, there's low, and then there's a dial where you can go higher. And anyways, this is where you start to confuse people. Roll it down, push it up, palms face forward, elbows to floor. Inhale to exhale. So 2 minutes is long. It's 120 seconds with a piece of machinery that can literally make soup if you leave it spinning enough. I've never tried it. I've heard of it. Okay. And we have Vitamixes at the gym in Timmins. Like, these are Cadillac blenders. I love them. So anyways, I put the beans in. Make sure that your shoulders are staying in the socket. So sometimes they start to get a little bit weary and they get a little bit almost lax, right? So you got to push, contracting the chest. And if you can keep just a small gap in between your dumbbells or band handles at the top, that'd be perfect. One more round. So you guys know me by now, right? Like, I start off slow and then I usually take it too far. So first of all, I pull out the coffee and I'm just going to say, it didn't look like there was that many beans in the coffee bag. But when you get in a Vitamix, last round, the Vitamix was almost full. So I start the Vitamix. It's on low. The adjustment dial's on low. I'm not seeing movement. I'm not seeing the beans move at the bottom. I'm like, are they just getting a gentle massage down there? Like, this is not going to work. I need to dial this up a little bit. So then I start playing with the speed dial. So it's still on low. It's still on low. I'm being reasonable. Inhale. Exhale to press, push your shoulder blades in, right on. You should be feeling the endurance. Oh my Lord, starting to fail a little bit on that one. I love it. Moving into a pec fly and then a V press. Let me show you what that'll look like. So it's two moves in one. You're going to start with a soft bend in your elbow. You're going to pec fly, bring your hands into a V, drop them down in a V, back to a V, palms parallel to fly. You got that? Okay. Pectoral fly into a V press. Go ahead. Oh, guys, what do I try with this one? I'm going to try 20s here. We'll start with that. Okay, so the pec fly, that's the one where we really want to watch your shoulders, dig it up. Butt ends of the weight go to a V. I drop that down to my chest, push up, and then bring them back parallel. So I'm going to be moving a lot slower just because the weight of the dumbbells, okay, especially on that pec fly. Inhale and dig it up. So when you are pushing from the up position in that pectoral fly. I want you to expand your chest, push your shoulder blades into the ground, up and through, right? So there's a parallel handle and then a V. So the bleeds have been going for 15 seconds, which like feels like 8 years in my land. Okay, this thing is still good. So then I decide that I need to at least put the setting on low and the speed on high. Pectoral fly. I see some bean moving. Okay, so now it looks like the top, the big beans, they are getting sucked down into the vortex of the Vitamix, right? Yes. So you know what I'm saying. Okay, so things are going great right now. Then all of a sudden I get this urge. I know. Open her up. I want you to try and focus on the less dominant side, especially on that pec fly. That's the one that I worry about with you guys because I can't see you. You have to slow that down, control the depth on that one, and then drop it down. I say, fuck it. Yeah, I'm sorry. I really did. I flipped it up. So I am watching these beans that were light brown. They have turned into this rich, dark, just like I can tell that coffee bean is ready for that Cuban press. And then I make the decision to allow it to keep blending. And I'm watching it. I'm like, you should stop. Like you should okay, that bean, okay, that looks like a powder. That looks like a coffee powder. You should stop the blender. But I didn't stop it. And I kept letting it go. To the V, to the chest, to one more. Anyways, I heard Cheryl all of a sudden say, shut the blender off. What are you doing? I shut the blender off. I looked at the beans and I was like, I think I've gone too far. If you guys know what a Cuban press is, like the holes in the perk part, they're not microscopic. I'm looking at this thinking, oh crap, I have ground these beans down so fine. There is no way that is actually going to hold up. It is literally going to get water in it and it's going to like dissolve like a bath bomb. Anyways, inhale to exhale. Last one. I can really look at the shoulders. The shoulders are having a hard time to bring that pec fly up, right? Getting that depth, billowing up that chest, coming into that V to press. I love it. A couple of compound moves. Now, this is where we're actually going to get up. Okay, so the chair is here. I'm going to change the camera angle a little bit. Love the hair. Oh, thanks, Gibber. Trish stopped by. I was in the middle of other stuff. It was quite a day. So what we're going to do is alternating bicep curls. Okay, so if you do have your bands, 1 foot or 2, you're going to rotate your finger and rotate your finger. Okay, so if you want, I'm going to drop these down. You could put 2 feet on the band. That's cool. Absolutely, that's cool. Let me grab some 25s. Bending at the knees. Oh, God, I think this is going to be pretty heavy, but that's okay. There we go. So we want to keep our chest up. Let me shimmy my booty back. Make sure that those wrists stay flat and that the elbows are tucked in. I want you to keep your shoulders up nice and tall, right? So I'm really fighting to stay up. And these are alternating. So again, maybe you're able to lift a little bit heavier on these. Just really secure your torso. We have core tomorrow on Friday. Okay, I'm going to redo those 25s again. I feel cluttered. Let me move this stuff out of the way. So we're going to stay with some alternating bicep curls. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 of the alternating bicep curls. Then I'm going to ask you to stand up. So I'll change the camera again, here to here. So anyways, I stop the madness. Your feet are tight together. It's about stability. And then don't forget about rotating. So I want you to rotate your pinky into your shoulder. Rotate your pinky into your shoulder. Nice. And then keep your shoulder blades back and your chest up. So I take off the Vitamix and I have blended these beans. I swear it wasn't that long. They're friggin' hot. The beans were hot. What I wanted to do at this point, I didn't do it. What I wanted to do, I didn't do it. I restrained myself. I wanted to put the beans back on the Vitamix. I wanted to turn them back on and see if they made a bean paste. I desperately wanted to do that. Okay, round 3. I did not do that. I made coffee with the beans. It was good. But it was murky. It was pretty murky. Okay, I overdid it. We know that. When I went to put the bean or the grinds, maybe I'll call it coffee bean sediment at this point. It was sediment. I poured it in the bag and the bag got hot. Yeah. Yep. The bag was hot. I closed it up. I picked it up and I put it in the cupboard. And I have no regrets. So, Cheryl, if you let me, I would like to try and experiment with those beans at some point and see if we could make a yummy coffee paste out of them. We don't even have to brew coffee anymore. It's like my thing with Nutella. We could put it in a Nutella jar. What I used to do with Nutella, I haven't done it in a while. And then you just take a hot spoon of it. Yeah, you just eat it like that. Screw the perk part. That's a time waster. We may be onto something here. Yeah, I'm just saying, $1 million ideas. They float in, they float out, they come in at the most random times. Up and through. Oh, 15 seconds, starting to get warm on this one. So yeah, so I'll make Cheryl some of that coffee tomorrow, and we'll have a little talk about that as we sip on the murky coffee. Okay, hammer curls. I'm not going to be using these 25s because these ones are not alternating. Let's push this camera up a little bit. So again, if you are using a band, you're just going to go feet shoulder width apart or one here. Okay, hammer curls, have your palms face in. We're going to go up and we're going to go down. Okay, so again, I'm going to grab some dumbbells. Oh, let's do some 17.5s and see how that feels. The grip strength on this is starting to fail. I'd put baby in the corner right now. I know I've got so much stuff going on here. So let's go here. Okay, so the chest is open. You know me in a stagger step. I love me a good stagger step. It really helps me from swaying. If I'm shoulder width apart, I see how and I'm not even overdoing it. It's the down portion of my dumbbells. They pull my guts forward. So when I do this stagger step, it really helps to stabilize. And again, I'm locking in the glute, trying to keep those elbows in tight. And I really want you to go nice and big on these exercises. Whew, I'm going to put those down for a sec. I just got to move this mat because it's kind of awkward being so close here. So let's just get that out of the way. Round 2. Okay. Let's push this over. 1 and 2 with the dumbbells. Okay. Same thing. Hammer curls. Inhale to exhale. So yeah, whenever you do like a standing seated muscle group combo, right, you're always thinking like, what do we want to do? One thing that we really agreed upon early in this platform to make these classes really accessible for people is to avoid a lot of up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. So we really try and be mindful of the programming that if we're on the floor, we try and stay on the floor. Inhale to exhale until we transition up, and then we can finish off with our standing exercises, right? For these type of platforms, these 4-week platform series, I think that's a great way to go about it. Again, once we hit, put those down for a second, shake out the hands. Once we get into some more, different type of exercises, like maybe I really want to do like a 45-minute all over body. Oh my God, there's so much. It's exercise. Like it never gets boring. Bend at the knees. Then we can do maybe a little bit more different stuff where we are kind of circuiting some bigger muscle groups. Maybe we go and hit the mat and then get back up and do some recircuits there. So yeah, I mean, lots to come. I really like keeping these platforms really as user friendly as we can, because trust me, you are losing nothing. Inhale to exhale. A lot of that transition time is it's kind of wasted time, because I know you guys are busy too, right? So it's better just keep you in your spots and then kind of station you around into those different exercises. So again, elbows are super close into your waist. Hold your breath, lift it up. Inhale to exhale. Whew. It's a lot of forearms for me this week, I find, just because we are in week 3 and the strength is coming up a little bit again. So the dumbbells are getting heavier. So that means the forearms have to work harder, because I'm asking them to lift more, right? I love it. 1, 2, up and through. Here we go. So I hope that by week 3, you're starting to feel stronger. And I hope that like the whole mentality of what you are as a human reinforces you wanting to be a strong human, right? Yes, that we're going to change that, maybe that narrative of what you thought you needed in this society, right? You need to be strong. You need to be healthy. You need to be able to do the things, right? Yes, you do. That's the body that we want you to have. One that you can rely on when you need it. One that you can just do activities if you want to, right? Inhale to exhale. Just had a client come back from Peru, right? I can tell you, she still says, I never thought. But you know what? She took a chance this year. We started training and she did it. She made her walk. She made her hike. And yeah, I'm distracted now because I'm super proud of her. The last exercise, palm up curls. So if you are using your band, we're going to go palm up. Then you're going to do a reverse curl right here. So choose your weights wisely in this one. We started round 1. I would gauge your lift on the reverse curl, because the reverse curl is tough. This is the one where Cheryl would say, do the C grip. Okay, so your thumb is over with your other fingers, up and through. Again, the range of motion is a little bit easier when you do that C grip. Here to here. So I know that the up portion of this, so when your palms are up, it's going to feel a little bit easier, I would guess, I could be incorrect, than the reverse portion. So I really want you to focus on form on your up curl. So when your palms are up, I really want you to try and keep your form clean. So here, try and keep your dumbbells as level as you can and parallel. When you go into your reverse curls, guys, your elbows are going to probably splay out. So your dumbbells are going to get a little bit wider. That's cool, right? It's all about ergonomics. Again, some of these hand positions, they don't work as great for others as they do for some. So I just want you to mitigate if things are too heavy. Say you want to go a little bit heavier on your front curls, but you're not able to do the reverse curls at the weight. Why don't you do one at a time? So you're focusing on one, and then you're focusing on the other, and then you can do both of those curls at the same time, right? Options. We love options. I am so happy that we were here for day 14, even if it happened 6 hours later than it was supposed to. 4:15, we showed up. Inhale to exhale, right? Especially a lot of people. 2 more rounds. I know a lot of people are catching us on the replay, and a lot of people are not at the position of week 3 right now. Just spoke to somebody today, and she's perfectly on her Thursday, but she's perfectly on her Thursday of week 2, right? Up and through. You got her. And again, thank you so much for people for subscribing to the channel, for recommending it. Cheryl and I have so much fun watching the numbers go up. I know, but honestly, again, we will say we are here because we need to be here, and we need you to keep us moving too, because this inspires us, right? It inspires us to be lifting. Cheryl definitely needs it for her occupation, right, as a firefighter. Inhale to exhale, but we all need this as people, right? I need it for my mental health. That's one of the bigger reasons that I really need to keep moving and grooving. It really keeps my mental health in check, keeps me showing up a better version, right? I love being positive, and I know when I don't get my physicalities in, sometimes it's a little bit harder to stay in that zone. I want to stay in that zone. I want to be that guy. I want to be that positive guy, right? There's always something that we can find. Inhale to exhale. Last round on this. Some different stuff on the biceps, right? We're working the reverse curls again. It's a great addition. You know what though? Friggin' reverse curls, I don't like them. They are tough for me. Tough keeping the wrist flat, right? It really works my forearms. I can feel those muscles, right? Holding on so tight as those dumbbells lift up and through. Then you get a little bit of a break on those palm up curls. So yeah, 12 pounds for me on this one. That's max, especially for my wrists and my elbows. It's kind of what they can take along with the muscles right now. Perfect. I'm going to rack those up. So if you can go to your chair, I'm just going to move the dumbbells off. We're going to do that wrist stretch again, or that bicep stretch, right? The one that Cheryl showed us. So we're going to go fingers back, and then we're just going to shift back. And you're going to notice my back is still straight. And I want you to be mindful of that even when you're stretching, okay? So again, we're kind of leaning in, and then you can walk forward, take a little bit of pressure off, and then lean back in. You guys know that you can actually do this just by pushing your hands back as well. Next one we're going to do is palm down. You could push your palms, right? If you're okay putting your hands here, just a gentle stretch. I don't have much give here, especially if you're working on a chair. It's a little bit harder, but we just want to use that to push down and into. And if you're able to, you can lean back slightly, just getting a little bit of mobility into the forearms. You got her. Make sure to tuck your tailbones, guys, and roll up. Roll your shoulders back. Let's do a pectoral stretch. If you guys do have a door frame, you can walk through that here to here, walking through the door. And if you don't have that, you can just pull your elbows back. You can even use your wall, placing your palm there, and then just rotating outward. You got her. This is the outfit that I had on at 10:15 too. I know Cheryl's not here, so I called it casual today. Elbow, hand, rotate. You can use the wall if you want. You can just pull it back, just open up the pectoral. You can go through a door, stretch it through, okay? If you're able to as well, when you're done that stretch, if you can get those hands behind your back for a full extension, chest up, hands down, staying in that stretch and doing that stretch throughout the day, actually, just to kind of keep your body up nice and tall. If that range of motion isn't cool, remember it's elbows behind with your chest open. You can jazz hands it too if you want a little bit of fun there. Okay, I'm so glad that we did this workout. Check. We have not missed a day. We will redo Wednesday just because the video quality is 2 thumbs down, but the program is 2 thumbs up. So I really want to make sure that you guys have a proper session. Cheryl will be back tomorrow. You're going to be 75% done this program, and then you just have 1 small week left. So what we wanted to get you thinking about is when we're off for those 2 weeks, we'll still be here popping and doing some workouts, but when we're off for those 2 weeks from the series program, what's your plan? I'll be sitting for the next few days too, catching up on some comments. So don't stop commenting. We want to comment because we want to comment back, right? It keeps the community alive. Thanks so much, guys. Thanks for joining. Who's here? People support. Oh, thank you. Yes, absolutely. I am also new to YouTube. This is the fun part about YouTube too, right? Where people like, they support our channel and then we go over and we share that support on other people's channels. So they get they get the subscribers too. So thanks for commenting, and for sure we're going to shoot over there to support your channel too. Right on. It's a great community on YouTube. There's lots of great stuff going on. Thanks for choosing our channel. Thanks for choosing anything. You just got to choose movement because that's what your body needs. If you're going to join us tomorrow, we'll see you at 10:15. Bye, guys.